This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice. Please seek a medical professional or healthcare provider if you're seeking any medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Thanks, everyone.
Hello.
All right. We're on air.
Yes.
We are on air. I already have my coffee. I'm feeling it. I'm good.
We started earlier today and
Yes. Yeah. We just had a really good conversation about screen time.
I know. Check out our Patreon episode on that. It was really good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
But anyways, today we're not talking about screen time. Today we're talking about something heavily trending.
Ooh, that's why we're like,
Heavy.
move some things around and put this in.
Very nice, this information, especially living in Miami.
Tell me about it. It's like rampant here.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to be talking about pillow face. Pillow face. For those of you that don't know, pillow face is that faces that people get after they inject too much filler. Right?
Yeah.
So very popular examples of this is like Kylie Jenner.
Yes.
I forgot what event it was. She looked gorgeous, but everyone was discussing how she looked like she was really old.
Exactly. And her face was like so puffy.
Yeah,
stuff.
like almost like she had been crying or something.
And then the other one is Chrissy Teigen.
Oh my God, but she looks scary. Or Madonna. Ugh.
I
love Madonna.
There's a lot of
love that
celebrity examples with the pillow face happening right now. So we're going to discuss it. Why is this happening? How to avoid it? All the things.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and do that. So let's talk about the definition.
Yeah. What is pillow face? Pillow face is a term used to describe an overfilled, puffy appearance resulting from excessive use of facial fillers or fat transfers. So this condition often affects areas like the cheeks. It can affect under the eyes, giving the face like that bloated, unnatural look. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to jump into the causes of filler. I was going to say filler face.
Well,
It's pillow face, but it's filler face.
Yeah.
The most common cause of pillow face is the overuse of fillers. So that is going to be the excessive use of dermal fillers like Juvederm, Restylane. I think it's called Restylane.
I think so.
And others that are intended to restore this volume and create a youthful appearance. However, when you inject too much, it can lead to swollen, puffy looks instead of that natural look that you want. And maybe at the beginning, it might stay in the place that you want it to be. But since a lot of these fillers are like water soluble, then what it ends up doing is that it migrates, right? So you end up just getting it all over the place.
And that's a big problem. And that's what's been trending. I'm sure a lot of you, if you're like on that side of like TikTok and social media, you've seen like this image that I'm going to put right here for those of you watching on YouTube. The MRI. And if not, MRI. Look it up. It's an MRI that just shows like somebody's face after fillers, and it's all over the face. Yeah. It migrated everywhere. And then we're going to talk about how you could kind of remediate that, but it's a long
process.
Yeah, to remediate that.
We'll get into the whole entire dissolving and all those things. So obviously another way that you can get pillow face other than overuse of it is the incorrect injections, which, let's be real, a lot of the times now the people that are injecting they probably don't have a lot of experience, to be honest. They go and they get some trainings, but the training is not
intense at all.
And they get experience as the time goes by, as they get more experience. Maybe they might train with some people that are more knowledgeable and all of that. But really, when you want experience, you want numbers, right? Like bodies that you do this on.
Yeah.
So incorrect injection techniques, so inexperienced injectors or improper techniques that can contribute to this kind of areas where you don't want that filler to be. Filler is placed too superficially or in the wrong anatomical locations, and then that can disrupt the natural like contours of your face, and then leading to this bloated type of look.
Yeah.
And then Like I just said, these fillers are usually water soluble, so hydrophilic.
That they like water.
They like water. So they have these hydrophilic properties. So hydrophilic properties of the fillers, some fillers, particularly those that are composed of hyaluronic acid, attracts and holds water, right? So this can exacerbate the puffiness, making the face look even more swollen. So you inject it, right? And then because it's hydrophilic, it's going to draw all this water in and hold on to that water, making you look almost like in the morning when you wake up and you wake up really puffy sometimes. Yeah. That's what the pillow face is all the time.
So then symptoms and appearance of this pillow face, like she was saying, the puffy cheeks and in the under eye, especially because that skin is so thin and so delicate, it's going to be very, very apparent. So the cheeks and under eye areas appear overly full and swollen, often obliterating natural facial contours and making the eyes look even smaller. That's kind of like goes in line with the pillow face look. So then there's also the smooth bulging mid face. So then the natural transition between different parts of the face, like lid cheek junction, become less defined, resulting in a continuous bulging appearance. So you don't really have any folds, any like
I can like just imagine this looking on how when my allergies are like at an all-time high, I just look like
that's it. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Yeah.
I would love for Julie to put like a still of that face.
There it is.
Don't do it. I look so ugly there. Anyways.
I mean, there's even like TikTok filters on pillow face.
Stop. No way. Oh my God, how funny.
Check out our TikTok. We'll do it. Anyway, so then exactly what we were saying, the overall bloated look. So the face may appear doughy or look soft.
Yeah, like a doughy look.
Yeah, looking like lack of firmness, and there's barely any definition really. And just the natural facial volume is just distorted.
Yeah.
So then how do you avoid it, right? You choose an experienced injector.
Yeah, that's exactly what we told you not to do.
Exactly. So the skill and experience of the injector plays a crucial role in achieving a natural looking result. So offer qualified medical professional who understands facial anatomy and correct techniques for filler placement. And then of course, moderation is key. And it's very, very easy to get like injector trigger happy, you know, with this because you see such a good result and then it migrates a little bit and you want it back.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know, it's understandable, but moderation is key to avoid it.
Yeah, you go slow and low volume.
And then so literally what she was saying, less is more when it comes to fillers. It's better to start with a conservative amounts and then add more later if needed rather than overfilling initially.
Yeah. I always tell everyone I don't do fillers, right? But I do talk to a lot of people that have fillers, and this conversation always comes up. It's like once you like pop that bottle, it's like you just want more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
So sometimes I say if you compare yourself from your initial photo to the photo that you have after maybe I don't know how many syringes of filler, you should compare those two photos, right? And really ask yourself, do you need more?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't look back on your photos. You only look back at recent photos, right? So that change is not too much.
Yeah.
But when you look at your initial photos, you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like taking a step back.
Where am I?
Yeah. That's the scary part to me about fillers. I don't have fillers either. And it's like, I don't know. It's scary to like open that Pandora's box, I feel.
Yeah.
You know?
And I've considered it for like my eyes, my under eyes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I've considered it.
I know plenty of places that I would love to put it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I actually wanted to do it. I might still do it actually. I wanted to do it for my earlobes because my earrings tend to hang down and that's like something that can like pop it up. So there's a lot of things that I feel like fillers can be useful for. There's also people that have maybe some injuries or something.
Well, yeah, that's a whole different thing. Yeah,
exactly. So the world of fillers can actually be very helpful sometimes, but people can abuse it.
Exactly. And that's a very fine line to tread on, you know?
Yeah.
So then proper injection techniques, fillers should be placed at the correct depth and appropriate locations to avoid disrupting the natural facial structure.
Yes.
Techniques that focus on deeper placements and closer to the bone can help achieve a more natural look, you know? Yeah. Which is, think about it. If you have it, so I'm thinking of like these folds, my smile lines, like,
lines,
that they're like very, very pronounced on me. If you put them like really, really up top, that's gonna look horrific.
Yeah.
You know, you need to bring it, like, you need to put it underneath, you know, so it could come out. And then that pillow face is exactly that it's just everything looks so like puffed up.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, so what are the treatments?
All right, so there's some treatments, and some of these treatments will work, but not 100%. This is just to help with the pillow face. So the first treatment is going to be hyaluronidase injections. So you have hyaluronic acid, and then hyaluronidase, okay, is that enzyme that's going to break down that hyaluronic acid. You have these injections of hyaluronidase, and this is only going to work for fillers that are obviously hyaluronic acid based, right? So basically this enzyme is going to go and then it's going to eat it up, right? That's like the best way that I can explain it. It's going to eat it up and it's going to dissolve the excess filler, okay? Helping reduce, right? So it's not eliminating,
right?
It's just helping with that time. So in cases where Botox or non-dissolvable filler are used, the patient may need to just wait it out, okay, until the effects eventually wear off, which can take several months. And I think when we say this is mostly for Botox.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have non-dissolvable filler, you might need to wait years for your actual body part, whatever you injected it into, maybe it's your face, for your face to change. And then maybe that to like change with you almost.
And the scary thing about that is that, think about it, you're filling up like spaces in your face, right? So if you fill that, you're stretching that skin. So once that dissolves, you've caused some stretching in that face, which will cause some sagging, which can then cause some wrinkling that you were initially trying to avoid. And now you probably made it worse because you stretched it out that much more.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's like the snake eating its tail here, like, you know, and that's what I'm scared about with these fillers, because I would love to get like these, like my smile lines decrease, like my under eyes, like, you know, all that. I would love to, but I know myself, and then it's just going to be like more. And then when I want to stop, I'm not even going to recognize myself at the end of it once they get dissolved, you know?
Yeah.
And the question that I had for you, so is Botox like, how do you call this? Is it one of these or like
no? So Botox is a toxin, right?
That much I know.
Then that toxin is injected, okay, and then you are going to have relaxation, and it's such a small amount of Botox, right? So it's within 3 to 4 months, it's gonna go away, right? The effects are gonna come down, and that's when usually people have to get another bit of Botox. So yes, we have antitoxin to Botox, right? But it's not used for that. It's like used for like botulinum intoxications. Right. And usually what people actually do with Botox is that they'll inject more in different areas of the muscle to maybe correct whatever the incorrect injection was.
Yeah.
So the filler is usually the one that if it migrates or something, then they'll go and they'll try to dissolve it.
Understood.
Yeah. And again, it's not, we'll talk a little bit now about the actual injection. So how does hyaluronidase work? Remember, hyaluronidase is that enzyme that's going to dissolve hyaluronic acid, okay? But basically, it's an enzyme. So think of it, it's just like eating it up, like a little scissor, just cutting through the hyaluronic acid fillers, right? And then your body will start absorbing that filler, right? Usually you'll see a difference within like 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
Now, if it's, and again, all based on what kind of filler you're using, right? So if you use something that's hyaluronic acid based, then obviously it's going to be very effective, right? So Restylane, Juvederm, it makes it easy in correcting overfilling or any kind of asymmetry. When you have non-hyaluronic acid fillers, it does not work on fillers like Radiesi. Radiesi, Sculptra, Bellafill, which are made from other materials that require different removal methods. So the dosage of this injection, the hyaluronidase injection, is going to be based on the type of filler that you have and how much you have too. Generally, it is safe, but it has to be administered by a professional. But you can have swelling from it, you can have bruising from it, just like the actual injection. And in rare cases, you can have an actual allergy. But to me, this is just my logical thinking, right? It's not like I like Googled this, but to me, when you want hyaluronic acid, right? That's what gives you hydration. That's what gives you bounce to your skin. So when you're injecting this hyaluronidase, yes, you're injecting it to the area where you had that filler, but it's also just going to dehydrate like everything else.
I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah. It's not just going to target the filler. It's going to target hyaluronic acid, whether that's from the filler or from your natural skin, right?
Right.
Your barrier.
Because you naturally do produce it.
Yeah, exactly. And you can apply it. There's a lot of products that have hyaluronic acid. So I feel it's like you got the filler and now you're injecting the hyaluronidase and then now you maybe look a little weird and just it's
a lot.
I feel like it can get complicated.
I know. That's the thing.
Complicated really fast.
It really can. It's scary. Like how complicated. Like how it just. It's like a rabbit hole you're sending yourself down.
Yeah.
With this.
Yeah.
So then, as I had brought up, because I wanted to like clarify that in my head a little bit, but let's dive into it a little bit more. So the purpose, like Botox, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the main differences between like these derma fillers, like the hyaluronic acid that she was talking about, and for instance, Botox, which is completely different. The purpose for Botox is that it's used to relax facial muscles that are that cause dynamic wrinkles, such as frown lines.
Yeah, dynamic means movement, right? So those wrinkles that are caused by movements.
Exactly. So like your eyes, because you're squinting, you're moving your eyes all the time, your forehead,
all those bunny lines.
Exactly. All of that stuff. So what it does is that it temporarily paralyzes the muscles to smooth out those wrinkles caused by the facial expressions. But then you get that, like those people that overdo it and then they have no facial expressions. Yep. It's like no smiling, no.
They can't lift up their eyebrows.
Yeah, and I'm constantly moving my eyebrows.
I need some Botox on this.
Oh my God.
This eyebrow is just always hyperactive.
No, I'm always moving my eyebrows. It's like no, I can't do that. I would look very strange. But anyway, dermal fillers are used in contrast to fill in volume loss and static wrinkles and enhance facial contours. So they're injected into the skin to plump and smooth areas like the cheeks, the lips, the under eye hollows, like I have them pretty prominent, and the nasal labial folds. Everything that I pretty much have too. That's exactly.
Everyone has that.
Yeah, but I know, but we're talking about this and I'm looking at a camera and I'm like,
where's the filler?
Anyway, so then the composition of these things. So Botox is a neurotoxin, as she has said, derived from the bacterium
Clostridium botulinum.
Exactly. It works by blocking the nerve signals to the muscle. Fillers, on the other hand, are made from various gel-like substances, commonly hyaluronic acid, calcium hydroxylapatite.
Hydroxylapatite.
And then poly-L-lactic acid and
polymethylmethylcarbonate. Wait, polymethylmethacrylate.
That. And all those things, what they do is that they add volume beneath the skin. The longevity of these results, the effects of Botox typically last for like 3 to 6 months before the muscle actually gradually returns its ability to move. Then fillers generally last longer, around 6 to 18 months or more, depending on the specific product used. So like some fillers, like that last one with a really, really crazy long name, we're going to name it PMMA, and it can provide permanent volume correction, which to me is scary because I mean we all age regardless of how much filler you put in. And so in summary, to summarize like the difference between Botox and these fillers, Botox is best for treating dynamic wrinkles, so like those movement wrinkles, by relaxing those muscles, while the fillers address static wrinkles and volume loss by plumping up the skin. They're both used together for optimal facial rejuvenation, but should only be administered by, like we said, qualified medical professionals to ensure the safety and the natural looking results, because somebody without that experience and know-how, you're going to end up with a pillow face or worse.
All right. So now we're going to jump into the reason why we wanted to talk about this on our podcast.
Why it's gone viral.
Why it's gone viral is the recent controversy about fillers and whether it dissolves or it doesn't.
Yeah.
So there was a recent MRI study that has shown that filler can linger much longer than advertised, and in some cases well over 10 years, especially in certain areas of the face like under the eyes. This challenges the widely held belief that hyaluronic acid fillers fully dissolve within 6 to 12 months. Now, I want to just say something. Again, I'm not an injector, right? But when we get products, when we get training, and when we get these products from our pharmaceutical reps, we learn a lot from them, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we all do our own research. right? But a lot of people are saying like, oh, these providers have lied to us this entire time. And it's always the same thing. It's the money, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's like no one asked you to walk into my place and ask me for what you want, right?
Yeah,
so no one put a gun to your head.
Exactly.
Right. However, I do feel like it is not talked about enough, okay, the positives and negatives. So I feel like you can go into a place and you can land a really amazing person that you tell them what you want and they're going to be like, we cannot do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like you're going to look weird, right?
Yep.
And then, but you go into other places that you're not going to land a good person and they're going to be like, sure, whatever you want. Whatever you want. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it later. A little bit more here, a little bit more there. You're going to look great. And it's just money, 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 right?
Pillow face.
So it's not always just that, oh my God, providers like are not speaking the truth to patients. It's like, remember, we do training. Like we do extensive training in a lot of these things. And it's not always because we're out to get you with our injections, right?
Or anything.
Yeah, or anything
for that matter.
Yeah. So when patients have a lot of built-up filler over time, it basically stretches. Why? Because again, it's that hyaluronic acid. It's going to just migrate because of that water attraction. So it can kind of stretch out, and then it stretches out those facial tissues and can lead to that unnatural overfilled look. So by simply dissolving all that filler all at once, you can just cause a lot of sagging and then an aged appearance, right? Because it's like Julie said, you're stretching out that skin. And then when you dissolve it, you just lost that volume.
Exactly.
That you were trying to fill in the first place, right?
Right.
And then again, kind of like what I was saying too, it's like, then did you potentially also dissolve like the already existing hyaluronic acid that you had in there? Giving you that plumper type of look. Filler with hyaluronidase injections is an inexact science, right? Which I think that's like the perfect words to use, an inexact science.
Exactly what you're talking about.
So it breaks the filler into smaller pieces, but it doesn't make it disappear completely. It can take many vials and treatment sessions to dissolve a full face of filler with the risk of creating depressions and unevenness, right? So then it's like it bounces back to what Jules was saying. It's like, oh, well, we need to fix this part and oh, we need to go there. And then it's just like a vicious cycle.
Because you fill up one spot and then that looks uneven from the other spot.
And then maybe one side of your face looks different. So then you need more on the other side. So it could just be a tough balance. Yeah. So then that enzyme is indiscriminately dissolves both what we were saying, synthetic and some of the body's own natural hyaluronic acid. So this is kind of like what I was mentioning.
Literally.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't differentiate it, right? It doesn't know like, oh, you're fake. You're you know?
Exactly.
So this can temporarily deflate the tissues until the body obviously will replenish it on its own over the next few days to weeks, whatever.
Right.
Not all fillers can be dissolved. Like we said, some are hyaluronic based, some are not. Like the Sculptra, the Radiesi, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that name, but the
you're
permanent fillers, right? I'm not an injector. The permanent fillers, right? Yeah. This doesn't have an easy dissolution process.
Right.
The syringe mentality of charging per syringe encourages overfilling, right? Because damn, you just paid for a full syringe. What? So you're just going to use like a partial syringe? No, you're going to want to use it. So what people are going to say is like, oh, we can do a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there. And by the end of it, it's like you just used up your whole entire syringe when really you wanted just maybe half.
Exactly.
So go with a friend, just share a syringe with a friend. I'm just kidding.
Do not do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Do not share needles, for the love of God. Okay, so syringe mentality. So you charge, right? So that encourages that overfilling by both injectors and by patients not wanting to waste the product.
Exactly.
Right? The quote unquote top offs before filler fully dissolves leads to a slow departure from one's own original appearance.
Because again, you cannot, let's just say you cannot share needles. So that's why it's like you don't want to waste it, because if you already used that needle and there's still product in there, you're going to have to dump it if you don't use it.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I can't see how they can. Again, I'm not an injector, so I'm not really sure how the process works. But if you were injecting, let's just say I purchased one syringe, right?
Right.
So what if before we even start that process, we divide that, right? So I divide half a syringe and then half a syringe.
Right.
So why can't people do that? But of course, you're not going to do that because that is missing out on business.
It's business,
right?
That's what I was going to say.
So they're not going to do that. So it's either it's a full syringe for you or not. But that's why I love Botox parties. You buy Botox, and then everyone gets a little bit of the magic.
You get Botox. You get Botox. Everybody,
Anyway, that's just unfortunately it is a business, right?
Yeah,
you're not
it
gonna
is,
walk
it
in and
is.
be like, I want to buy one syringe, but it's for two people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, there might be businesses out there that do that, but like, I mean, yeah, it all depends, I guess, you know. So how long does it typically take to dissolve filler using these dissolving agents, the
hyaluronic acid.
well, the ACE, the
Hyaluronidase.
that. So that enzyme is used to dissolve the hyaluronic acid, like we had said. The process of dissolving it is generally quick and effective. The full timeline can vary based on several factors. So the immediate effects and initial breakdown, it starts working almost immediately upon injection. The filler will begin to soften and dissolve right away. Now the absorption time, it'll start absorbing it once it, you know, that liquefied filler. Yeah, I know. It's like that's why I'm having a hard time. Like I'm like thinking of it anyway. Exactly, inside of you. Anyway,
Yeah.
Within 1 to 2 hours, it starts like, you know, being absorbed. And although the visible effects might not be immediate, but it just starts happening immediately. So
And
then,
now it's like, is it truly going to dissolve in 2 days after that MRI of that person?
well, that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
We're gonna go into that. So then the complete breakdown, the entire process of breaking down the filler can take up to 2 weeks to complete. This period also allows the enzyme to fully dissolve the hyaluronic acid and for the body to absorb the dissolved material. So then for the visible results, they could be seen almost immediately, but it can take about a few days for the swelling and other side effects to subside, revealing the full outcome of that treatment. The factors that could influence this timeline, the amount of filler, right? So larger amounts of filler or denser fillers may require more time and possibly additional sessions to fully dissolve it, right? The type of filler. Some fillers, such as those from Juvederm, Vycross range, all those may take longer to dissolve compared to others like Restylane. It all depends. Like whoever it is that's doing the dissolving of the filler will have to tell you on that based on what it is that you had injected to begin with. Then the injection technique is another aspect of that can affect this timeline. The initial technique used to place the filler can also affect it. Fillers injected in tiny droplets dissolve more readily than those injected into large blobs. So, yeah.
All right. So post-treatment considerations. Again, after you just had a treatment, now what can you expect after that? So immediately, you're probably going to see swelling and different side effects. Post-treatment swelling, minor side effects like bruising can last a couple of days. But in some cases, corticosteroids and antihistamines may be recommended to manage these symptoms, which to me is insane. I can't believe like you're like even giving like steroids to manage some swelling from injection. I don't know. It's just it's a little much for me.
Yeah.
But waiting period for refilling. So you just had it, you filled, you dissolved, and now you need to refill.
My God. Like what? Yeah.
Again, a little too much. So it's generally advised to wait at least 7 to 14 days after dissolving filler before considering new filler injections. This period allows for that area to fully heal and for any swelling to subside so you can see the true contour of what you've got going on.
Exactly.
And even then, that's like the minimum time that you should be waiting, right? One thing that I wanted to say, did you ever seen, oh my God, Black China?
No. Wait,
Black China when she dissolved like her filler? She looked great.
I know.
She looked 10 times better.
So much better right now. She still has it like dissolved in water. She looks so much better.
Yeah, like she said, she wanted to just go back to like her natural self. So, but
she really did have a pillow face at point.
Oh my God.
She was
her results were insane to me.
Yeah.
She didn't even look like the same person.
No.
And to me, she looked better.
100%. And there's a lot of people that are doing that now. Yeah. A lot of them. The one from Charlotte from Sex and the City, I forgot her name, like in real life.
Yeah.
She also looks better now.
Sarah Jessica Parker, right?
No, not her. The one that was Charlotte. The
sorry. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know her name.
Too.
Yeah, but she looks better now.
Yeah.
You do see some wrinkles or whatever, but she looks better now than before. It was just puff.
Yeah,
And the other one, oh my God, what was the other one? There was another one that like she recently had it dissolved too, and like she looks so much better. But anyways, there's so many celebrities that are doing it now. Oh, the one from Friends. Monica from Friends.
Oh yeah, Monica from Friends. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the other one too. That there was a point there that she was in a red carpet and everybody was talking about it. It was just like too much. And now she looks like her face has shape. It's just prettier, It's crazy.
All right, so let's talk about that recent image of the MRI.
Let's dissect it a bit.
A recent medical case that highlighted the potential risk of cosmetic facial fillers recently just came out. So it was a 33-year-old woman in Australia that experienced unusual complications 3 years after receiving dermal filler injections to her face. The woman actually went to the hospital complaining of pain and swelling in her cheeks. So doctors, what do? They performed an MRI, right? MRI is going to look at those different layers of tissues to see what's going on, right? So they performed this MRI and then they revealed a pretty surprising discovery, because I'm sure that she was like, no, I got it all dissolved or something like that. Or like this was like years ago, which is like naturally supposed to go away. Right?
Or I think in this case, it was that it was supposed to be in certain areas.
Oh, yeah. Or like it was supposed to be in certain areas. Exactly. The filler material had moved from its original injection sites and formed lumps in her actual face. So these lumps, called granulomas, all right, are inflammatory reactions that can occur when the body tries to wall off foreign substances. So this lady literally had a reaction, like an immune reaction to the filler. And it creates this granuloma, and granulomas are like very hard. They're really like they're bumpy, right? And it's basically like the immune system trying to wall off. They're like, I don't know what you are.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to build a wall around you so that you don't touch anything, right? So it's like basically putting all your filler into a bubble because your body's like, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
That's not part of us.
Exactly.
We don't know her.
Exactly.
Right. The situation was serious enough that the woman required surgery to remove the displaced filler material. So she needed, you can't dissolve granulomas.
Yeah.
All right. For everyone out there that's thinking that, they're like, oh, well, I didn't dissolve it. You cannot dissolve that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's literally different tissue built up around this, in this case, the filler.
Yeah.
So this lady had to literally have surgery, okay, to remove the displaced filler material.
It became lumps.
Yeah. So this case serves as a reminder that while facial fillers are generally considered safe, they can sometimes lead to unexpected complications even years after the procedure. Medical experts are emphasizing that such severe reactions are rare. Again, like what we're saying, like generally it is safe, but this is rare that can happen. However, they advise anyone considering cosmetic procedures to be aware of the potential risks, which is what I said, that we don't spend enough time really saying, this is a risk, this is what can happen.
Yep.
You choose, you make that decision, right? And also just, you should be highlighting those potential risks and only use licensed, experienced practitioners that have been doing these kind of treatments.
This is something that's going inside your body, guys.
Yeah.
Like it's not,
a
little thing. It's serious.
Yeah. So this case was so big that it was actually published in the New England Journal of Medicine.
Yeah.
Which, for those of you out there that don't know what that is a huge
medical journal.
It is. It's a medical journal, but it really is top. Like when you think about like new studies, if you make it onto the New England Journal of Medicine, people are going to know about it, right? It basically underscores the importance of long-term follow-up and awareness and delayed complications in cosmetic procedures, which I don't think we see published enough.
Exactly.
I was so happy that this got so much fame that it ended up landing on the New England Journal.
It needed to, because it was such a, it's shocking.
Yeah.
Like you look at that MRI image, it's shocking.
Yeah.
Like, so if you want more examples on like what a pillow face is, like there's so many,
we're just looking at videos.
We're looking at some of them right now that it's like for instance, Madonna.
Look I love her when she popped up on, was it the VMAs? Was it the VMAs?
I think it was one of those.
So one of those award shows. When she popped out, I was scared.
Yeah.
I was scared. She looked
bad.
She looked like what's that? The one with the face, Jigsaw?
Yes.
She looked like Jigsaw.
It was scary. It's like, how is somebody not telling you this? Because you keep on and sometimes you're blind to it on your own.
And this picture of her isn't even the
worst
worst
one. Not even the worst one.
Oh, Nicole Kidman. I freaking love her.
And she's so freaking
so
pretty,
beautiful,
man.
But
there's no need.
It's not doing anything
look at
for
the before and after.
Yeah.
So it's just...
It's so crazy. People get like buccal fat removal.
Yeah.
Right? To have that like model-esque look.
Exactly. And then you have this, that's the polar opposite of that.
Yeah. And then Chrissy Teigen. I don't have words for that.
I have no words for the one for Chrissy Teigen, because it's even like deformed her actual face.
Eyes. I think she's definitely had something done
like
there.
Look at right here in her temple.
Yeah.
Like it's it's shocking. And hers is
everything. Like, I feel like her nose is different.
Oh yeah. She's had a bunch done. And then of course Kylie Jenner.
Everyone has put photos of her.
Yeah. There's so much on Kylie Jenner, but
so yeah.
Anyways, this
pillow face.
That was pillow face. Obviously, it's preventable. We're not discouraging you from doing this.
I kind of am. No, I'm just kidding. I kind of am. No, I'm just kidding. But
do your research.
Questions. Yeah, ask questions.
Make sure you're going to somebody reputable, somebody experienced, somebody that knows what they're doing.
If you ask your practitioner what are the risks and they cannot answer, go to someone else.
Or they answer in the very wishy-washy Miami way of like, oh, there's really nothing.
You can have this. Sometimes you can have that.
It's not gonna happen. No.
You know, you should when you have these type of procedures, it's informed consent, right? So you should be informed.
Exactly.
And also do your part, right? Go in with your questions and all of that. You need to have an educated conversation with this practitioner that you're gonna have this procedures done. Go in educated and don't be completely lost and just follow blindly onto what someone's going to do for you.
And also don't, if you feel like that injector is, that clinician, whoever it is like a little injector happy, you know, instead of being real with your results of, let's say you're like, well, I want to do this, I want to do all of that. And that clinician, that provider is not telling you the actual facts of like, hold on, maybe not that much, maybe let's start with this, or maybe let's do less of that, but you're saying like, let's put more. That's a little concerning.
And also ask for before and after pictures.
Yes.
Okay, because you can kind of get an idea of your vibe of an injector,
how they practice.
Like, I know I have a very like when I have considered filler and Botox, I know who I would go to because they have a particular look that I go for.
This is an art. Like she said, it's very particular, their work. You could kind of see like resemblances. And if that's something you want, then there you go. But anyway, this was Pillow Face.
That was Pillow Face, guys.
Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Funny Medicine Podcast. We have full on episodes there that come out every Friday, completely different to these that come out every Tuesday. And you'll be supporting us. Supporting the show. And check us out on any form of social media. If you had any topics that you want to hear about, let us know. DM us, email us, funnymedicine305@gmail.com. All the things. We're everywhere. And thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. And we love doing this. So we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Like, comment, review us on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, etc.
Check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Funny Medicine Podcast. Our Gmail is funnymedicine305@gmail.com. And remember, we are not diagnosing you.
Definitely not. Just funny stuff.
See you later, guys.